Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV and continuing the dialogue with Dr. Salah Abdullah, the political expert, but about another topic, which is the mega projects that were inaugurated by President Abdel al-Sisi during his tenure in the past 3.5 years, and of course more specifically and most recently last week on Saturday in Al-Ismailiyah city, linking Ismailiyah to Port Said and of course Sinai and As-Saloom as well. The tunnels that were inaugurated by President Abdel al-Sisi for the development of Sinai, the bridges, the overflowing bridges over the Suez Canal, and the development access of the Suez Canal, called after the martyrs Ahmed al-Mansi and Abanub Girgis. Of course, we did see the breeding of fish and the cultivation of fish in Sinai as well last week. All these projects were inaugurated by President Abdel al-Sisi and waiting to be fully operational by the 30th of June in 2018. Dr. Salah Abdullah is still with us to be speaking more about these projects.
Welcome back, Doctor. First of all, I'd like to ask you about, of course, as Ahmed mentioned, the importance of these projects, especially not just the tunnels, but also that there were also the aquaculture farm. There were also talks about a new urban city as well to be built. So how do you see this development project in the new Ismailiyah area?
Well, we can put it under the title Development Program of President Sisi.
Yes.
What include in this development program? To develop Sinai, and this is very important now, I think the terrorism and the terrorists which was living in Sinai and the tunnels which coming us from outside to Sinai make us all feel that there was a mistake for the past over 30 years that we left Sinai. So what is needed is an urgent work to develop Sinai and transfer population. In Sinai, there is only 300,000 persons. Sinai can carry on about 10 million persons. So you need at least very rapid work of development. So there was many steps for that. Number one, the tunnels between the valley and Sinai is very important because nobody will go there unless there is a rapid transport. And also, if you make an agriculture project in Sinai, it needs to be connected to the valley, industrial, and so on and so on. So that's why President Sisi started now 4 tunnels, which last week we saw in the TV. In the last 35 years, we only have 1 tunnel.
Yes.
Only 1 tunnel.
Ahmed Hamdi.
Ahmed Hamdi, which was done around 77 or 78 by that time during President Sadat era. From that time on, up to 2 years past, there was no tunnels under. But you need, in 2 years, you are making 4 tunnels. You see how much the work if you compare it. This means that you increase the number of passing to Sinai 5 times. And this, of course, would be reflected on the movement of Sinai, on the development inside Sinai. There is a project inside Sinai which is very important, starting by duplication of the Suez Canal.
Yes.
And this is very important because the canal will enter into severe competition with Panama Canal, and also with some project which is the Israelis think about it. That's why it was necessary to make a very rapid work to prepare the canal for competition.
Yes,
And
Dr.
of
Salah, in
course-
your opinion, under the tenure of President Sisi, what were the most remarkable projects, the mega projects done for the development of Egypt, in your opinion?
It is all very important. I didn't see one important than the other. You can't develop Sinai and you can't develop the axis of the Suez Canal, and you can't make industrial zones with the other countries without the tunnels under the canal. Okay?
Yes.
This is number one. You can't make mega projects in the axis of the Suez Canal without duplication of the canal. Okay.
Doctor, but it's not just the Suez Canal zone and the Ismailia area, but there were so many projects all over Egypt. Before that, we had Kafr Sheikh and the aquaculture farm.
I am coming
Yes.
for you, but I just tell you
Yes.
this because this is very important. This area was under division of the Israelis.
Yes.
From the east usually comes the danger, if you look for that. That's why what President Abdel Sisi is doing now is developing this to the benefits of the Egyptian, and he protecting this place from the enemies.
As a matter of national security.
Yes, this is very important. If we look to others, we have our administrative capital,
yes,
which is a very important project because Cairo now became a very hard town and they overpopulated, and it was necessary to have a new capital to make the life more easy and very advanced capital, which is the universal standard. So this capital now is a very big project, and I will tell you something.
Yes,
sometimes governors or kings doesn't enter the history except
for
by
one
by a town. You know, if you talk about Al-Mu'izz li-Din Allah, you talk about Cairo, Cairo al-Fatimiyya. If you talk about Khedive Ismail, you are talking about the Cairo al-Khediwiyya. You know, this project is very important. The capital is very important, and the work in the capital is going very rapid, very rapid.
Yes.
As I told you, we make 1 tunnel in 30 years and 4 tunnels in 2 years. Look, compare. We are doing the same thing in the new capital. If we look to the electricity, you have 3 major projects with Siemens company for electricity station. One in the capital and one in Bani Suef, and I think one here in one side of Cairo. This is a mega project for electricity. Other than this, you have many fish cultivation project, with also major project. You are working in cultivation of land, the 1.5 million faddan. You are working
so there are
in
so
that.
many things, actually,
So,
education,
yes,
many cities and zones in whether Damietta, Mansoura, Alamein, and so many others. Actually, we can stay forever talking about it, but I'd like to thank you very much, Dr. Salah Abdallah, the political expert.
So your time is finished.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. We really need to give more time for that,
much.
but I wanted to thank you. And
Thank you very much.
thank you very much for this interview. And now we will be looking at a report about the 2017 tourism wrap-up.